They're annoying, they're sometimes debilitating, and you think that if we could put a man on the moon, we could figure out how to avoid them altogether.
We're talking about colds and flu, but if we can't dodge them entirely, you'd think we could at least deal with them as naturally as possible.
Okay, for that we have a few ideas.
The average adult gets 2 to 4 colds a year, and almost everyone has a favorite strategy for dealing with them.
I'll usually call in sick to work and I'll go to bed.
I usually go through my medicine cabinet and I search for whatever products I have.
I take a lot of fluids, I take vitamin C, and I get a lot of rest.
I don't do anything. I drink a lot of hot stuff like tea and warm milk and maybe a soup.
Dr. Neil Schachter has heard all of those strategies and more. He's Director of Respiratory Care at Mount Sinai Medical Center in New York and author of The Good Doctor's Guide to Colds and Flu.
So the first thing to do is to realize that colds and flu are infections. They're viral infections that are transmitted from one person to another.
In fact, about 200 cold viruses have been identified, leading to the development of 300,000 non-prescription cold remedies. Most of these are aimed at dealing with the symptoms of colds and flu, but the experts say ultimately it's our immune system that's going to make us well and protect us from getting sick again. Dr. Schachter says it's important to protect the immune system by not smoking, getting regular exercise about 30 to 60 minutes a day, limiting alcohol consumption to 1 drink a day, and minimizing stress. He says it's also possible to support your immune system with dietary supplements. He's been reviewing the research on an immune booster called Cold FX that was developed in Canada and tested in 7 clinical studies. It's formulated from a single all-natural ingredient derived from North American ginseng.
And they've shown that by taking this throughout the winter season, at least in the trials that they've run, that number one, it reduces the symptoms, it reduces the frequency of colds and flu, and it also reduces, if you have had one cold, it will reduce your chance of getting a second cold during that same season. And most Americans will get at least 2 colds during one season.
Yeah, they feel a little achy and congested, that sort of thing.
In Canada, Dr. Shafiq Qadri has been following the same research.
And things like Cold FX, which is a purified extract of North American ginseng, it's actually been proven to boost the immune system. So it can help with the frequency and the severity or the duration of cold. So that means how many colds you get, how intense it actually is, and how long it actually hangs around.
Dr. Qadri also recommends some other time-tested natural remedies for dealing with colds and flu.
Things like tea and honey can warm and soothe the sore throat, and of course, getting rest helps. Getting chicken soup served to you by your loved one, that of course is always helpful and reminds you that you're still cared for.
Dr. Qadri and Dr. Schachter also have similar recommendations for avoiding colds and flu.
You can stop a common cold right in its tracks by having a balanced diet and getting regular exercise. As well, if you wash your hands several times during the day and avoid touching the nose and eyes, you can stop the spread, the viral transmission of these particles, these droplets.
If you're in a situation where many people are coming through your space, wash your hands frequently, wipe down surfaces where you're liable to put your hands or where other people are liable to put their hands, phones, computers, pens, things that are lying around that people are likely to pick up.
Dr. Schachter also recommends getting a flu shot. He says that contrary to what some believe, flu shots do not give you the flu and in fact can cut the risk of getting sick by 70% in healthy adults.
I understand Dr. Schachter has another cold avoidance tip that you like.
You're right, I think this is very clever. He says when you're dining out, especially during cold and flu season, carry your own pen to sign the tab. That way you avoid coming in contact with all the germs from all the people who used that pen in the hours before it got to you.
That alone could save our viewers days and days of coughing and sneezing.